Your fourth question, what innovative developments are you implementing in your business to ensure tourism for tomorrow? I think there's obviously a huge list of stuff we can go through now. Just to give the whole answering process a bit of structure, let me stick to the 4 C's. Let's start with conservation. As I said initially, and that's not very innovative, it's just maybe strange, that a company, a commercially driven company, generates almost the same amount of funds for a nature reserve in which it operates than it does for its own good, is maybe not innovative, but it's quite remarkable. On the conservation front, we obviously have to cover aspects like, I think number 1 in Wolwedans is our building style, our building blueprint, which basically follows this principle: whatever we build, we must be able to take out. So every pole, every canvas, everything must be removable, and we build pretty fancy lodges and camps that way, as you will probably have seen on the web page. I think that for us is an absolute fundamental principle to keep our environmental footprint as low as possible. Then you obviously look at the whole water management cycle. We are currently busy installing a massive new water system where we pretty much count every drop of water that is pumped out of the ground, is distributed to different sites. We've got daily readings, and we just want to be very much aware what happens to our most precious resource, which is water. We are looking at rubbish. At Wolwedans, not one single piece of rubbish stays within the Namibron Nature Reserve. Everything is transported back to Windhoek, to our capital city. Obviously, it's all recycled. In the old days, we used to burn all paper and plastic. We stopped doing that about 2 years ago. Now every piece of rubbish leaves that reserve. We are very sort of involved with the day-to-day conservation of the reserve. Our guides have to write daily activity reports or sighting reports, pass that on to the nature reserve staff. We are helping with game counts. We are looking at accommodating research students. So there's a whole array of things we do on the conservation front. When it comes to community, I think our biggest contribution, and I feel it's the biggest contribution we can do for a developing country like Namibia, is vocational training. We've got currently 72 students in the system, which we train in becoming chefs and hotel staff. And to date, we've trained 180 students, or they are nationally accredited and certified, and that is quite a feat for a private sector company. We do that lately with some support from an American NGO, thank goodness, because over the years we've probably plowed in the region of $400,000 US into getting started in vocational training. We also on the community front look at small enterprise development, and we've currently got one pilot going. It's a little bus service that runs between Windhoek, the capital city, and the north of the country. It's a long-standing employee of ours who's been with us for 12 years, who was keen to start his own business, and we help him doing that. So on the community front, there's a lot of things one can do. We focus on education in terms of bursaries, the vocational training, the schools. We are ultimately looking at 4 different vocational training centers with a total of 150 students in the system at any given time. On the commercial side, yeah, I touched on that. We obviously are in the business to make money, and the focus on our product, on delivering a top service, good product, all that is obviously key. And it's sort of, if you look at the pyramid, with the 4 C's, conservation, commerce, community and culture, at the tip of that pyramid we've got our quality product, which entails beautiful landscapes, which entails great guiding, great infrastructures, wonderful camps, charming service, good food, all that. I mean, that is still the essence of what we do, and that is what keeps this engine going, because no money, no honey. If we are not generating funds, we can't plow back anything into the remaining 4 C's. So commercial viability for us is absolutely key, and in that sense we are generating our own funds to plow back into our other areas. We, for instance, started a chef training academy in Windhoek, in the capital city, which is totally detached in a way from what we do down there in the field. It's a beautiful old house. We converted it to a restaurant, and there we train chefs. I think one can call that innovative. That a safari company, a safari camp lodge company from the bush or the desert, actually ventures off into the big city and does something like that. And obviously these things cross-feed, because the chefs we train there, some of them end up cooking in Wolwedans. Oh, that's something I also forgot. Of the 180 students we accredited and trained and put through the system, we probably employed only 20 students. So a good 80% of the youngsters we train are actually released into the Namibian hospitality industry and might well end up working for our fiercest competitors. On the cultural front, that's a bit of a difficult one, because we don't, we haven't applied our mind to that in the past, but we do now. Foremost, we are now looking at creating our own Wolwedans culture. We've got a wonderful value statement. We've got what we call the Wolwedans Compass. We really want to work with the people, with our staff, of which there's about 100, and work with them and hope that they transport the message also to their communities back home. Namibia is blessed with cultural diversity. We've got 12 different language groups in this country, and we are trying very hard to bring out the cultural differences in a positive way, to make people cherish their cultures. If you talk culture, you obviously also talk art and music. There's a few programs in the pipeline to accomplish that. So that, I think, in a nutshell, is what I can contribute to your 4 questions, and I hope it will be useful for your further endeavors. And with this note, I say thank you and goodbye from Windhoek. Once again, apologies for not making it. Sometimes life has got something in store which you haven't planned. Thank you very much and goodbye. Bye-bye.